Right then, hello friends, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, friend. I really do hope that. And welcome back to, I suppose, Chelsea news, but really a talking points video. We're going to cite an article from Liam Twomey of The Athletic, talking about where Chelsea Football Club are. Where the ruddy heck are we? Where are we going? What does the Dortmund defeat mean? What does the performance mean? Lots to get into. I'm going to read this article with you, and hopefully we're going to learn a lot together and dissect something really interesting and nice. If you haven't seen my post-match presser from the game yesterday, I suggest you go check it out. It's super easy. Just watch my previous upload. If you want to show some sweet love, please do drop a like on the video. I will eat up all those likes. Yum, 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 yum. Thanks for subscribing. And should you choose to subscribe to this channel, you should hit the sweet, sweet bell, baby. Oh, that's not the transition. Technical difficulties. I'm very tired. Can a defeat ever feel promising, ladies and gentlemen? Liam Twomey asks, can a step forward still be demoralising? To ask such questions is to follow Chelsea in 2023, a test of faith that transcends results, and that is where we are as a football club. The vibes are over, ladies and gentlemen. It is now a project, a systemic, formulaic, data-driven way of long-term success and longevity. And that's just where we're at. In the wake of an agonising 1-0 defeat to Borussia Dortmund at the Signal Iduna Park, head coach Graham Potter struck a familiar tone of disappointed optimism. He said, overall, we were pleased with the performance for big parts of the game. It's complicated away from home in the Champions League in a hostile environment in a team against a team that's in a good moment. True, they've won every single game since the restart. They have, and they've been very good. In fact, the Dortmund boss, not in the article, I'm just reading this quote from Twitter, the Dortmund boss said this about Chelsea. You can see the quality. I think it was maybe Chelsea's best performance this year. They were very good on the ball. I agree. Mr. Edin Terzic. Chelsea have an incredible quality up front. We do, but we just don't score goals. Hey, it's not our thing. Some people like it, we don't. Whatever. There's a little bit of luck involved, and we had an exceptional goalkeeper. They did have a really good goalkeeper on the night. Or I'm sure he's the same person other nights too. So, I thought it was even in the first half. I tend to agree, maybe they were slightly better. We managed the game quite well, had some chances to counter, and hit the bar. Second half, apart from the one decisive action, where we didn't do too well, we were the dominant team and created some good chances. True. Their counter-attacking goal was against the run of play, and if you have watched my previous upload, just hitting my desk there, my post-match presser, I present a graphic demonstrating the attacking momentum throughout the game. Chelsea were the dominant side in that game. Big time! Go check it out if you haven't watched it. You know, why not? Why not? With a little bit of luck in final execution, we would have got the deserved goal, but it is what it is. We have to keep going. True. Potter's optimism was not unreasonable. Chelsea clocked up a 2.2 expected goals in XG, which, by the way, is more than Man City did against Arsenal in their 3-1 win yesterday. Just a little, it's the player quality finishing that makes a difference. In the pulsating first leg, it was a good game, to be fair, in the last 16 tie. Even if the wisdom of expecting goals out of these group of players feels increasingly dubious, it's a Chelsea thing. High expected goals, but no goals, because we don't expect goals, if that makes sense. João Felix struck the crossbar and buzzed with constant threat. I agree. Kalidou Koulibaly had a shot cleared off the line by Emre Can, and the Dortmund goalkeeper Gregor Kobel made seven saves to keep Arrizabalaga the one. Arrizabalaga. There you go. So 7-1 saves. They're at home. They're on a winning run. We don't win games. We didn't again. I shouldn't laugh, but if you don't laugh, you will cry. The only moment of clinical composure in the evening was, of course, provided by Karim Adeyemi, who raced beyond Enzo Fernandez on a one-man counter-attack from a Chelsea corner, rounded Arrizabalaga and tapped into an empty net. It was a rare flash of the Dortmund threat in the second half, dominated by the visitors. Dominated. Yes, you're all understandably upset because you want to win games, but it was true. You watch the football, the players running around on the pitch, and you see what's happening. Chelsea were better. Chelsea were the better team away from home. You know, and the strange sequence invited questions. So, Twumi poses these questions. How could Chelsea contrive to not test Koba with 2 uncontested headers in the penalty area? Why did Hakim Ziyech rush forward to intercept a ball on the edge of the box? He could not win. Why was Fernandes, far from the fastest player in the team, the last man back? Why was Thiago Silva, rather than Mikhailo Mudryk, the teammate closest to the action at the time, Demi when he rounded Arrizabalaga? And the goalkeeper, could he have been faster off his line? Not interested in digging out Kepa. I think he's been pretty darn good. Remember, Chelsea have conceded 2 goals in, 5 games? Our defence is wicked, mate. Like, that's fine. You add that to what was a dominating performance yesterday in 2.2 XG, which is great. It's over 2 goals scored, which you'd expect. And, you know, like I said, you can outperform your XG if you're a good side. Like, if you're a strong side with a lot of talent, and by the way, Chelsea are a strong side with a lot of talent, in theory, you know, you get 2.2 XG, you score 3 goals. Like I said, you know, Man City had 1 point something and they scored 3 goals. So we could have had a 3-0 away win at Dortmund. Quote, it's the final bit of detail, Potter said, of the sequence in his post-match press conference. That final bit of detail, particularly with the ball, was what separated Chelsea from an escalating series of opponents in the Champions League knockout 2 years ago. Yeah, when Tuchel had tactical answers throughout that run, of course, he had his first-choice wing-backs at full health. In Chilwell and James, he had a thriving N'Golo Kante and, you know, Sigurd Rossetto. I'm not, you know, well, I don't want to denigrate an amazing job Tuchel did in the Champions League. But, yeah, he did have his full arsenal available to him. Internally, there was a feeling at Chelsea, heading into this Dortmund tie, from the ownership down, that winning the Champions League again this season is well within their grasp. Gotta love the optimism there from the Chelsea hierarchy. Yeah, 10th in the Premier League, don't worry about that. We'll just win the Champions League. I mean, it's in our DNA. That might well sound absurd to anyone looking at Potter's run of 3 wins in 15 matches across all competitions since the end of October. But, to quote his favourite phrase, it is what it is, which is a little bit like qui vivra verra. The miserable stretch that takes into a huge injury crisis, true, an unprecedented January recruitment drive. Well, in 2012 and 2021, Chelsea put themselves on a path to European glory by changing the coach. This time, they have changed the team and feel the mid-season additions of Enzo, Mudryk, Felix into the Champions League group. They have more talent than when they lifted the trophy in Porto. I agree. They just had more of like a well-oiled team on that Porto run, which at the moment we don't have yet. The hope is to keep the tie alive in Dortmund, which by all accounts we have done, and nearly did more than that, and use the 3-week gap, which is a long time, right, before the second leg at Stamford Bridge to build precious cohesion with the January signings, while also recovering key players to full health, perhaps even N'Golo Kante, the transcendent force in the 2021 team, and the player most needed to make this new, expensively assembled Chelsea battle station fully operational. I tend to disagree with Liam here slightly, because our defence has been excellent. I know Kante was good at linking attack, but when I don't think we've got an issue with that. João Felix is a roaming free number 10, generating 2.2 XG is fine. Kante's not going to be running in the box and finishing the chances. But I kind of understand what Liam's saying, and maybe in like Premier League games and stuff, it would just be good to have him back. So, heading back to Stamford Bridge with a 1-0 deficit stings much less without the away goals rule, and which is great for us, by the way, and the situation feels retrievable against a Dortmund team lacking the attacking firepower of recent years, as well as defensively vulnerable behind the press. Because they have won a lot of games, Dortmund, but they concede goals, they do. Especially away from home. Beyond them, this Champions League will be settled between flawed contenders. Absolutely clear favourite. It's actually quite an interesting tie, from that perspective. Chelsea lack a reliable goal scorer. Hold on, it's just all coming back to me over and over years. Oh, you buy Higuain, loan Higuain, buy Morata, buy Lukaku. I've had enough. Bring back Pato. Their XG against Dortmund was better than all but one of their knockout matches under Tuchel 2 years ago. Wow. That's wild. That is wild. The other end of the pitch is more concerning. Their 1.41 XG against on Wednesday is as bad as any match on the run to Porto. Kante's return would solve some of that, but not all. That's still fine though, isn't it? Conceding 1.4 XG is not the end of the world. And the fact that we have kept clean, whatever. Ultimately, the biggest question mark hanging over Todd Boehly and Clear Lake Capital's grand hope for the salvage of the season is Potter. His career resume requires a huge leap of faith on football's biggest stage. Dortmund away was only the 6th Champions League match he has coached. Chelsea's results are not improving, even if the performances are. And we've said for a while, and a lot of perhaps measured philosophical football fans said, look, we're not chasing down a particular thing at the moment, and we are on a transitional rebuild. Performances are more important than points at the moment. And certainly there was a huge jump in performance yesterday. This team is in search of a turning point, led by a coach in dire need of a convincing win, which everyone will agree on. Both must arrive in the next 3 weeks if the season is to be defined. By more than transfers. Look, mate, you win your Premier Leagues, your Champions Leagues. We won the transfer window. Yeah, good article. It highlights a lot that we already know. Some stuff that I didn't know about the Tuchel run. In fact, how we were, generating more. Look, Chelsea have amazing players. We have amazing players now. Ben Chilwell, Reece James, Thiago Silva, Badia Shield, Wesley Fofana, one of my favourite centre-backs in the Premier League recent years. Even Koulibaly shows he's got it in the Champions League. Enzo Fernandez and N'Golo Kante. Put some respect on Ruben Loftus-Cheek's name, the versatile, rotational player that can play in different positions and play well. Zakaria, remember, he was looking bright. We've got youngsters coming out of behinds in terms of midfielders. Chukwuemeka's, Casaday's, Andre Santos, and then the whole wealth of attacking midfielder talent and Nkunku coming in the summer. Chelsea have got a good team, and regardless of what people's opinion is of Potter, people around football will tell you he's a good coach, and he's a good leader, and the players like him. It's just going to take time. I would like Graham Potter to work. Not because I've got some English bias agenda. I just think he's a good coach, and I've liked him for a while. You'll remember I was calling for him to get the England job before he got to the Chelsea job. And I am an England fan, and England have good players. So it's just going to take time. I really would urge you guys to be a bit philosophical about this. Take what was a good attacking performance. Wait for that goal to go in and another one to go in. And hopefully we'll see some rotation and some positive stuff there. So I put it out to you guys, what do you think? Please do comment down below your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the subject matter and the stuff that Liam wrote about in the article. Thank you for liking, commenting, and if you want to, subscribing. And look forward to seeing you very soon. Take care of yourselves. Peace.